Hey, first off, thanks for taking the time to join me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
America is in a crazy, crazy border crisis right now. Thousands of illegal migrants are pouring across the southern border of the United States, and Governors Doug Ducey and Greg Abbott have taken the step of putting some of these migrants on buses and shipping them to Washington, D.C., to New York, and to Chicago, sort of a message to the Democrat establishment and kind of bringing the pain and what we're experiencing here on the border a little closer to the doorstep to take action on immigration. A lot of people view that as sort of a weak step, as it may not be the governor's best option, me being one of those people. But you actually wrote a legal opinion stating a similar argument, which is that governors have the ability to use two constitutional provisions to declare an invasion, enforce border security themselves, and not just ship migrants throughout the United States, but actually return them across the border to Mexico.
Yeah, and I once again, I think it's important to put this all in context. That I am very proud of the fact that I'm the first attorney general in the entire country, first elected official to issue a formal legal opinion, which I would challenge anybody to read and look at our reasoning and look at our logic and not deny that we have a very strong constitutional argument. The reality is if you look at Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, you look at Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, the states have a right to defend themselves, and the federal government has an obligation to defend the states against an invasion. And when they do not do so, the governors of the respective states, acting as the essentially commander-in-chief of their states, can order their militia, that is, mobilize their National Guard to fight or repel that invasion. So that's kind of the legal theory in a nutshell. But how did we get here? I think you got to look at this in context. Every month we are breaking records when it comes to importing drugs into our country, the amount of fentanyl that's flowing in, the amount of methamphetamine that's coming in, the amount of money the cartels are making off these drugs. And literally millions of people have illegally entered our country since Joe Biden became president. And every time someone enters this country, the cartels are empowering themselves and making money off of it. So when I see stats or information, not only as a former gang prosecutor, but as a parent, it's absolutely heartbreaking. When I see the price of fentanyl falling from $20 a street pill to about $5 a pill, I know that means there's a dramatic increase in supply and more people are going to die. My goodness, in this country last year, more people were killed from fentanyl than died from breast cancer. We know that the numbers we kind of lose sight of, but in Arizona, for example, in 2017, about 4% of the deaths were related to the overdose deaths related to fentanyl. Now it's more than half of them in just a 4-year period. So Americans are dying. It's having a devastating impact economically, not only in costs of lives lost, but also in productivity and economically. And so when we see these problems, my goodness, if 100,000 people were poisoned in a year by China or some other foreign actor, we would declare war and we would do everything we can to stop that killing. And so as a border state, we have seen firsthand the devastation that occurs when the cartel sees operational control. And that's why I issued opinion. I'm the attorney general, so I'm not the general of the army. So it is up to the governors to make those decisions of whether they want to declare an invasion or not. So there are tools that can be used by the governors. And ultimately, it's disappointing to me that we are even talking about this, because when it comes to federal authority, the president is at his height of their power when it comes to border security and national security. And the Biden administration is doing absolutely nothing. And Americans are dying every day as a result of it.
So in your opinion, what is holding governors back from using this power that they have constitutionally to declare an invasion?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I can't speak on behalf of Governor Ducey or Governor Abbott. They would have to answer those questions. I just know that even part of the strategy of busing migrants, and we're not talking about a large amount, but even busing migrants to places like Chicago or New York or DC is an attempt to send a message to all these other, liberal cities that have ignored this problem, that every state is a border state and every city is a border city now. And so that is, I think, part of the reason why the governors are doing it. And I think the best way to send a message to get the attention of the Biden administration and to actually do something affirmatively would to declare an invasion. There's definitely scenarios or people have talked about like, what is going to be the federal Biden administration's reaction? Are they going to sue the states to try to stop them from doing so? Are they going to arrest state officials for, attempting, to do something like this? In some ways, we don't know because this is unprecedented, but because it's unprecedented and people are dying every day, I think it's incumbent on state officials to be doing everything they can to protect not only the border states, but essentially protect the entire United States from the invasion that's occurring.